Hi everyone, I'm Michael Uriarty, or Dr. Mike, and welcome to Technique Talk, the MYK System, and more. This is episode 20 in our series of comparing and contrasting other techniques with the MYK System. Today, we're going to talk about neuromuscular reprogramming. If you want more information on either technique, I have the website links in the description below. Whether you're a patient looking to get help or a practitioner looking for a good technique to learn, this series is what you need. Let's dive in. Let's look at just the core concept of what neuromuscular reprogramming is. And it says neuromuscular reprogramming is based on the idea that the brain stores coordination programs and strategies for movement. Okay. The system aims to reprogram dysfunctional patterns in the nervous system to correct movement dysfunctions and restore balance. It views these dysfunctional patterns as a primary cause of pain, misalignment, and degeneration. Well, we know that the motor cortex starts the process. It runs down through the cerebellum, which kind of checks the process. It then sends it out to the muscle. It does the process, and then the information gets sent back, and the cerebellum checks that process to make sure that what the motor cortex wanted to do was actually done. And then you can look at, fixing those issues and stuff from that standpoint. So there is, it stores coordination programs and strategies for movement. Yeah, because of the motor cortex and the cerebellum. So I can see that. So it says that the key features is its focus on neurological re-education. So the system works to re-educate neurological patterns by addressing issues in muscle sequencing. So I was thinking, okay, muscle sequencing, we do muscle sequencing because we treat everything on a nerve pathway. So I got into what some of the stuff that they do. And so they have module 1, 2, 3, and 4 for their classes. And so module 1 is for dysfunctions of the hips and the low back. So they get into the hips quite a bit. So dysfunctions of the hip and the low back, correcting poor sequencing among the muscles controlling movement and stabilization in these areas, quickly restores proper biomechanics and range of motion, alleviating chronic and acute pain in the gluteals, the SI joints, and the lumbar spine. Okay. It also says that it relieves compression effects from past falls on the sacrum and the coccyx. It reduces the effects of shock and whiplash to the spine. Okay. And it reconditions active support of the erector spinae muscles. And then it teaches exercises. So that's hips and low back module 1. Module 2 is for the hips and the shoulders. So it includes a deeper look at the contralaterals. So it says, a deeper look at the contralaterals, the diagonals, the forward, back, and side gates, and a functional integration between the hips and the low back and big movers of the shoulders like the trapezius, the lats, the supraspinatus, posterior delt, and the anterior serratus. All right. So yeah, hips and shoulders on that one. Okay, I'm with you here. All right, module 3, they have, we learn to recondition full and graceful movement, top to bottom, front to back. So you apply the protocols to resolving sequencing problems among the muscles. Okay. Oh, responsible for flexion and extension from the head to the foot. Rebuild support and free expression of the neck. And learn safe protocol. Okay, good. I like that. And then module 4 is a relationship on the coronal plane. So it's connections from the jaw and the side of the neck, and then it goes down the back and all the way to the other side, down the leg, all the way down to the ankle. So it's a cross pattern from one ankle up to the jaw, and then from this jaw down to the other ankle over there. Okay, now, one of the differences, so there's their 4 modules, right? So if we look at some of the things with the MYK system, just to show a little bit of a difference. So we group things according to the nerve innervation from a muscular standpoint. In the upper body class, we have from symptoms, conditions, and postural imbalances. We have about 112 different things that we learn. In the upper body class, there's 92 different things that we learn in the lower body class and 196 things in the certification or the autonomic nervous system course. So in the upper body class, there's 9 different treatments because we have 9 different nerve levels that we're treating, C1 down to T1. We have 7 in the lower body class, L1 down to S2. And then in the autonomic nervous system class, because we're grouping the nerves to have an impact on a specific organ, there's 17 different combined treatment protocols for that. And I think we're actually up to maybe 19 or 20 now. So I've been adding 2. So there's a little bit of a difference there. So we focus mainly on the nervous system is the culprit, is what we're trying to fix and trying to balance. And because if we can balance the nervous system, everything else is going to balance. One of the things that I like to say is posture is the outward expression of the nervous system. So if somebody comes into your office and their posture is off, we legitimately get to say something is not right in your nervous system and we need to balance it. We need to fix something, because if your nervous system was balanced, your posture would be balanced. If your posture is balanced, your pain is very low. And if your posture is balanced, your range of motion is very high. And so it's a key component to getting us back to health. All right, so let's look at Joyce. Joyce is the lady who came up with, Joyce Oliver. She founded Alive and Well Institute of Conscious Bodywork in Marin County, California in 1987. So I went to that website and I looked up the Institute of Conscious Bodywork, Alive and Well. And it says on there, I got a kick out of this because it says the best massage therapy school in California. Now, I got a kick out of that because instantly I went to the movie Elf. As soon as I saw it, I went to the movie Elf, where he went into the coffee shop because they said the world's best cup of coffee. And he's like, congratulations, you did it. And so anyway, that's immediately what my mind went to. I was gonna be like, oh, I need to call her up and be like, you did it. You're the best massage school in California. Okay, anyway, so that's just how my mind works. All right. So she's dedicated 40 years to the development and refinement of conscious bodywork and neuromuscular reprogramming, using or integrated massage with muscle testing, structural balancing, and emotional energetic resolution for the reduction of stress, shock, and trauma. Whenever you get into the emotional stuff, I try my best to never let my patients have an emotional release, when they start just crying on the table or crying for no reason, and you're kind of like, oh man. So it makes me uncomfortable. I mean, it happens, right? It's a part of healing, but it's definitely not something that I'm pushing for. It's definitely not something that I'm wanting to happen, but it does. And typically the patients feel better after it does happen. But whenever I see people like, oh yeah, and we do emotional, like this one's emotional energetic resolution, I'm like, oh, for me, that's just me. I may not like that. Anyway, so that's a little bit on her. And another thing that she said, she goes, I'd like to say that everything I've learned about body work, I've learned from my clients. It was my lack of formal training that stimulated a new way of looking. Oh, okay. Her lack of formal training. Okay. That led to innovation and a new approach to problem solving. Because I was like, I learned quite a bit when I was in school. So anyway, and I'm not knocking that. That's good. Okay. So let's also cover, so we got into the key features. We got into the different type of things. Oh, people that they teach. So these classes are designed for bodywork professionals, which include massage therapists, chiropractors, and physical therapists. With the MYK system, chiropractors, massage therapists, physical therapists, occupational therapy, and athletic trainers. Those are the 5 professions that we teach. And we give 20 hours, and 40 hours, upper body, lower body, and then the autonomic nervous system class. I don't see where it has to have CEUs. I didn't see where that was. So I didn't see how many CEUs. I couldn't find that. So it says evidence and support for the system. So the system was developed by Jocelyn over 40 years of clinical practice and teaching. So that's good. I have that for the MYK system, but I also, because we work with the University of Idaho, and the University of Idaho does research and development, or research on the MYK system. So we have 6 peer-reviewed published articles. We have another 7 or 8 articles that were written up so that they could get published, but then not actually published. And so we have that listed under our case studies. And so, so we do have some peer-reviewed published articles behind what we do, which I think helps in the long run. So let's see. They have their emphasis is working with strategy, not force, and getting long-lasting results. I like that. I like both of those. I always say that if you do a treatment with somebody and after the treatment you're like, oh man, I got to take a break, you did something wrong. You should be able to treat patient after patient after patient after patient, meaning you have to adjust how you're doing things. And so here's the thing. We've all done this. We've had a patient come in, bigger patient, maybe an athlete, big, or maybe just big, right? And you have to lift their leg. And you lift one leg, and you're moving that leg and stretching that leg, and you do one thing on it, right? And then you go, roll over. I got to do the other side. And you're exhausted. And so you can't treat person after person after person after person if you do that. And so I've changed my treatment protocol. I don't do that anymore. So if somebody walks in the door when they're bigger than me, I'm like, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have to move your leg. You're going to move it. And they're like, I have to move it? Yeah, you built it. You built it. You got to move it. I'm not moving it, because then I can't help the next person behind, so I can't do that. All right. So anyway, so that's what I do. And you alter what you're doing. You alter the treatment a little bit. You're not doing a disservice to that person. They're still going to get the results, and you get to help more people. And so that's the key there. So it says some of the sample conditions that they address in this neuromuscular reprogramming course is pain. Nice. Misalignment. Okay. Oh, yeah, misalignment. Okay. Not subluxation. Degeneration, scoliosis, SI joint pain, hip pain, and sciatica. Nice. Some of the things that we address, I would say pain, yes. Misalignment, yes. If a joint is subluxated, so a misaligned bone versus a subluxated bone, if a misaligned bone, if you release the muscle, you'll hear pop, right? You ever done that? You ever worked on somebody's muscle and it went pop? And in the massages, the massage therapist in my office, they're like, that's on me, no charge. And if I do that, if I work on a muscle, it goes pop. I'm like, hey, it's an extra $35 for the adjustment there, So I charge for that. Anyway, degeneration, I'm not sure about that. Scoliosis, we've helped with scoliosis, SI joint pain, hip pain, sciatica. We also get into plantar fasciitis, headaches. If anybody walks in with a headache and then walks out with a headache, completely not normal with the MYK system. So if you have people that have headaches, frozen shoulder is another one, typically less than, 4 treatments. We usually get full range of motion going again. So that's another one that we treat. Acid reflux, asthma in kids, we get phenomenal results. So just a few. Those are just a few. I can't go through all of them, but those are just a few things that we treat. So let's see. What else do they have in here? So if we do a comparison and a compare and contrast. So the core focus for the MYK system is we're going to treat the nervous system. through treating the muscles. And so basically one of the things that I put together was, how do we get into the nervous system? And instead of moving the bone as my vehicle to get into the nervous system, I'm going to group the muscles. So how can I group the muscles and have that be the vehicle for how I get into the nervous system? And so that's one of the differences between chiropractic and the MYK system. So with the neuromuscular re-education, it's re-educating neurological patterns for optimal movement coordination. Okay. The emphasis is on the MYK system. We have very specific techniques and treatments that we do for all the muscles and everything, and how do you group them, and different conditions, different nerve levels that we're trying to treat, and all that kind of stuff. And we evaluate the posture the best way. The best way is you look at the posture. It's a scan. You just look at somebody and go, shh, and you go, oh, here's your nerve problem. Boom. It's super, super slick. I like it. With the other thing, organizational intelligence, muscle sequencing, and functional relationships. Okay, I'm not getting. This is not a knock on their website. I'm not getting a clear thing as far as that thing there. Treatment approach, here we go. So target muscle manipulation as far as with the MYK system with immediate results. And that's one of the things that we push for. Is one of the first things that you have to do with anybody is get them out of pain. Otherwise, they're not coming back. So you got to get people out of pain. And that's one of the first things that we do. Then you start getting all the other changes going, and it doesn't take a lot of time. Now, with neuromuscular reprogramming, it's movement patterns through active releases. And I think it's just active movement is what they're doing with that. So we have 3 courses, the upper, the lower, and the autonomic nervous system. They have 4 courses, and they have a written exam and a practical that you have to do. Only if you take the home study course, you have to take a written exam with the MYK system. So again, for it's practitioner based. Both courses, both things are practitioner based. So I don't really teach people that aren't in healthcare. And so again, ours are chiropractors, PTs, PTAs, OTs, OTAs, ATs, and massage therapists. And for the neuromuscular reprogramming, they have massage therapists and physical therapists and chiropractors is what they list. So we have, as far as evidence, we have peer-reviewed published articles. We have case studies. We have a lot of testimonials. They have testimonials from practitioners and patients. So time for relief. So we get rapid relief within minutes, 2 days. Could be, because everybody's different. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 treatments to get somebody there, but most of the time people notice a difference after the first treatment. And they say that they're focused more on long-lasting results. We focus on long-lasting results as well as getting rid of people out of pain. So if we do a conclusion, both the myokinesthetic system and the neuromuscular reprogramming represent innovative approaches to manual therapy that move beyond traditional symptom management. The myokinesthetic system offers a more targeted approach focused on specific muscle manipulation and rapid pain relief, while neuromuscular reprogramming emphasizes a broader re-education of movement patterns within the nervous system and the functional relationships between structures. So both systems prioritize a deeper understanding of the nervous system and how it influences musculoskeletal health, and practitioners of each system claim positive, long-lasting patient outcomes. So very good. And let's see, is there anything else in here? No. All right. So that's about it. So if you guys are looking for something different, so this neuromuscular reprogramming, it does focus a lot on the hips. So if you have, if you're coming in with hip stuff or movement stuff, I would say that this could be a good option for you. Because it does, they have hips and shoulders and hips and low back, and then they have the gait thing, the movement and everything from the jaw down. And so anyway, All right. I hope you guys got something out of that. And if you made it this far, smile.